to another podcast. Today, Noah's feeling a little under the weather.
A little bit under the weather. I can barely talk.
Yeah.
You're going to have to bear with me, but I'm too committed, and I came here to do a podcast. That's what I'm going to do.
Gotta get another podcast in.
Yeah.
This one's going to be a little shorter than last week's, because last week we kind of just started rambling. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah. 37 minutes probably too long. We were shooting for like 23 minutes, I think. Yeah. 37 was like crazy.
We took off a few topics, so you want to sit through that.
Yeah.
All right, our first topic is Noah's Ark found in Turkey.
Yeah. And it was found on what mountain?
Mount Ararat.
Ararat. That's listed in the Bible, if I'm correct, right?
I think, yeah.
Okay.
So this was like a long time ago. This was in 2010, which is crazy to think, but that's almost a decade ago.
Which is stupid because I can still remember 2010 like yesterday.
Yeah.
I sound like an old person, you know what?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I remember when gas used to be at 5 cents a gallon. At my dad.
Alright, so this team of archaeologists, they went out, or I don't know, they were just, I don't know what they were looking for, but I guess they were looking for Noah's Ark. And they supposedly found it. The way I found this thing is there was a YouTube video that I was watching that supposedly they were walking around in Noah's Ark in Turkey. And it showed like them in this cave looking thing, and they were looking on the walls and they were saying, oh, here's the timber that like you could see the wood grain.
Was the video real?
I'm not sure. I mean, it's possible. But they were like showing the wood grain saying, oh, this is like, it's like petrified wood now, but like these were the timbers and that were used, for the walls, and they were showing like, remnants of straw and all these things. And it just looked fishy.
Yeah. It's like one of those, did you just come upon it like you just...
Yeah, just...
kind of caught in your feed?
Yeah, randomly. Just
like one of those...
It just looked interesting. I mean...
That's how like Gordon Ramsay will pop up on your feed at 3 a.m.
Yeah. I don't know. It said, this article that I'm reading from Nat Geographic, so this is like a credible site that's reviewing this. It says the team claims to have found in 2007 and 2008 large wooden compartments buried at 13,000 feet above sea level near the peak of Mount Ararat.
Wow.
They returned to the site with a film crew in October 2009, so that's the video I saw. And they have a picture, if you look up Noah's Ark found in Turkey, it's what shows to be like a boat shape on at the top of the mountain that supposedly is Noah's Ark. It's like crazy big. I mean, it had to have been.
Yeah, if it had held two of each animal in the whole world.
But I just don't think that thing could have stayed there in such good shape for how long it would have been.
That doesn't make sense.
And there's multiple ways, like all the people that scientists are saying this couldn't, it's not possible.
But then again, they believe in evolution instead of
true.
More terms like Bible and all that.
But I mean, if you look at the facts, it's kind of pretty much debunked. It says Noah's Ark, the wood for Noah's Ark's way too young because they can do carbon dating and all that stuff. They say the wood's way too young.
But your phonies are lying to us. I know it.
But to think about it, wood, it's hard for wood just to stick around for how long? It's like 4,000 years.
Yeah, it's true. Because it's biodegradable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everything's pretty much biodegradable. But I'm saying...
But wood rots.
Yeah.
Quick,
Yeah.
So
but isn't it pretty cold where they're at?
I'm not sure.
I don't know. Either way.
It's cool to think that it could stick around and you can still find it and there's traces of it today, but
yeah,
I don't see it being that possible.
Yeah, I'm
not saying it's not possible that it happened, but
no. But since they carved it and stuff like that, they have reasoning. But I don't know what could be that big.
Yeah, what would be that huge and that it wasn't as old.
Who the heck makes a boat that big? And they're like, how did it get there?
Yeah, how did it get there? What is it?
Yeah.
And there's no explanation.
All right, what's our next topic?
Our next topic is Roanoke Island.
Oh, yay. This is one of my favorites, actually.
Yeah, I don't know too much about this, so.
It was supposed to be one of the first colonies that England sent to be in the New America. To the, how do I put this? To a new country, so they can start building on from this one. But the survival rate at Roanoke was at 20%, and people were, they're all volunteers at first, and when they're here, 20% is of people are living, and the other 80% are dying from diseases or whatever it is. I'm sure you wouldn't want to volunteer to go there.
Yeah, definitely not.
But eventually they started farming better because all these people were pretty much farmers, but they didn't have a leader. So John White led them, and he was kind of like the mayor of the whole town. They were doing really well, and they have had some trouble with Native Americans attacking them and all that. But they're doing really well. They needed to go back for some supplies. And John White told them, hey, if I'm not back here, you're going to go to this one island. I can't think of the name of it. Or you're going to push more inland or something like that. I forget. No, you have the facts. But so he went back to go get some supplies. And when he comes back, he finds an abandoned town. Like, Roanoke was just abandoned. And he was like, okay, well, this is kind of weird. I wonder what happened here. There's no trace of anything. I think there's only a carving on a tree now.
Yeah.
And they never know what happened to him. But John White went to go on that island that he told everybody to go to. And he tried going there, but it was really bad weather, so he couldn't go. He tried another day, really bad weather, so he couldn't go. But it wasn't his boat, so he had to go return the boat back to England. And he didn't return back to the island or anything like that. He couldn't do it. Like, they just wouldn't pay him enough to go do it. And people have zero idea of they found traces of stuff on that island. Like I think they found some beads there.
Yeah, like European.
Yeah, European beads. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about that.
So that's what one of the ideas is. One of them is that the Native Americans killed them off, or they moved inland, but they have no factual stuff when they're moving inland. But
yeah,
I'm saying they went to that island.
Yeah, I mean, if they stayed at that time, he didn't.
No,
you couldn't even just mail anything at that time. There had to have been just spoken word. So just like if you're.
I mean, they could have at least left the guy a note.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the Native Americans kind of like pushed him out, and they were like, "Yeah, let's dip." All we know how to do is farm. We're not really fighters or anything like that. Imagine being John White coming back thinking, "Oh my gosh, I got all the supplies for these people. They're gonna be so happy." And it's like, "Oh, where's everybody at?"
Yeah.
No trace, no nothing. It's like they just got up and left. I think they left everything too. That's the weird part. I think they left most things.
Yeah,
they have a carving in a tree. I think I forget what it even says or anything like that. But and then I just feel bad that he didn't even have the money to go back to go try looking for him or anything like that.
Yeah.
So it was pretty much just boom. They just got up and disappeared, and nobody knows what happens. It's just one of history's greatest mysteries right there.
Yeah.
Roanoke, it's just a classic.
Yeah,
we're never gonna actually know unless we dig deep into the facts.
There's not gonna be any definite.
No, for sure no. The only way we really would have known is if he had enough money to go, and it really wouldn't even be a big deal now.
Or if
I'm sure it would, but
something to tell.
Yeah,
just something carving.
It wouldn't even be a mystery anymore if he actually found him. But
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's just crazy. Where would they have gone other than people say disease and everything, but there's no traces at all.
No.
No bodies, no nothing. Just up and disappeared.
Yeah, just left. I said, nah, I'm not doing any of this anymore.
Yeah,
Alright, what's our next topic, Noah?
I think we're going to go with the Chucky.
Chucky. Okay. When I heard about this, I was like, no way. There's no way. But Chucky was actually based on a true story, but all the facts were all wrong. So, like, the movie's nothing like the actual thing. It was just based off the doll. So, the real doll was called Robert the Doll. It has nothing to do with really Chucky, besides that's what they based the movie off of.
Yeah.
Nothing. You couldn't watch the movie and say this is what the actual real story is, because nobody would know. Robert the Doll was a gift given by a voodoo maid given to a little boy. And the voodoo doll, the little kid named it Robert, but he did not know it was a voodoo doll, and I don't think the maid liked the family all that much. I'm just saying, if it's a weird. And so then I guess they thought it was a normal doll, They just kind of like Annabelle,
Yeah.
Throw the doll out. I mean, these people are pretty smart, though, about it, for the most part. And they noticed, they didn't think anything was weird. Like their kid's talking to this doll, and they're thinking, yeah, just like an imaginary friend, no big deal. They didn't start noticing something was weird until they heard a different voice talking back.
Oh,
Then they're like,
man.
yeah, something's whack. And so then they're like, maybe it's just the kid, maybe it's just the kid that's making the noises. Let's not go too far on this. And eventually, when the kid went to school, it didn't hurt the kid or any of the family members or anything like that. When everybody was out of the house, their neighbors would say, yeah, well, I wouldn't say their neighbors were saying this. It was facts. The doll would be looking out the window at the neighbors through their window. Oh my gosh. And eventually the doll would be missing somewhere. And they're like, where's this thing at? They'd go look in the attic. Like, at the last spot you'd possibly think a doll would be. Well, not a creepy doll. I'd check the attic too. Basement, something. But they check the attic and there's the doll right there. So it always they'd disappear. It happened a lot. It'd disappear and then it'd be up in the attic somewhere. But it's a whole creepy story. Eventually the kid grew up. They left the doll there. They left the house, left the doll there. Smart man. New family moved in. Little girl found it. Doing the same stuff. Moving around. Eventually the parents said, let's get rid of this thing. These people are smart compared to that Annabelle story.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just weird. I do somewhat believe in it. I don't believe in voodoo, but possibly. I mean, I can imagine things moving on their own.
Yeah.
Demonic wise, I'm just like that though.
So is the doll still around today, the Chucky doll or the Robert the doll?
No, I think they destroyed it.
They did? Oh, man.
Yeah.
Well,
Smart.
Yeah, smart, but
Whoever destroyed it was very smart.
yeah, but the Annabelle's still around, right?
And yes, it is locked in that glass case and then it has wood supporting it, and that's soaked in holy water, so it can't. The demon can't get out. You can go visit it.
Yeah, I'll pass.
Yeah, well, I would love to check it out. I'd be sending shivers down my spine, but I'd go.
Anything like that, I would.
Nothing like that.
No.
Not like it's gonna escape and come attack you.
I don't know.
That's true. I guess I don't really
I
know
wouldn't
either.
put it.
I wouldn't. Yeah, I guess I wouldn't put it past her. Yeah, with all that weird stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, I don't know the whole story. I think I'm sick and tired of dolls getting possessed. I'm not saying Robert the doll was possessed, but I think that's what happened.
Yeah. What's wrong? What's up with doll?
No kidding. Why dolls? Are you trying to get closer to little kids?
Yeah, really. I mean,
Like, come on, man. You're better than that. Pick on some of your own size. Okay. I think I'm done ranting about that.
The next topic's the golden record sent on Voyager.
Golden record on Voyager. I was always interested in this because we learned about a lot of outer space stuff when I was in 7th grade with Miss McClellan.
Yeah.
And I loved that class because I don't know, my mind would go crazy about outer space.
Yeah.
And the thing that really stood out to me was talking about the golden record on Voyager. And they sent it up there with, what were the 2 space shuttles? It's been sent on 2 different space shuttles.
Yeah.
What was it? Do you know?
The Pioneer space shuttles.
Yeah.
Pioneer 10 and 12.
Yeah, Pioneer 10 and 12. Sent it on that. what's on the record is it's a brief thing saying stuff about what our language is, some music, some of the stuff that we do, how we act, stuff like that for like extraterrestrial stuff out there. So if they were to actually see that, they'd be like, okay, there is life out there.
Yeah, and they have like pictures of
The record.
where we are in
Yeah.
like where we are in space in relation to the sun and the planets.
And how we live with
pictures,
water.
yeah, pictures of all the planets around us. Like Jupiter has a picture of Earth in there.
Yeah.
It has pictures of molecules, our DNA,
Yeah.
how humans develop, maps of our Earth, pictures of our planet.
It's just like if something were to get a hold of it, they know how to find us.
Yeah, and these people, like, if there's something out there, they hope it's something, you know, advanced enough to understand or maybe even have a higher knowledge to, you know, figure out. Because there's like encrypted codes on there, like Morse code and like.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
And they sent it on 2 different records on 2 different ones, if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Out into space.
I think you can get records of it. I don't think you can legally, probably, but I think they have like little recordings of it. It's just awesome, the fact that maybe something is out there, and we could find them or they could find us. And I'm glad we sent something out there in the space of time that we did.
Yeah. You can buy one of those records, the Voyager Golden Record. There's a 3-piece box with all the images and everything for $98.
Pass. $98? You kidding me?
Just if you were like a nerd.
Yeah, well, I'm not
Space
one.
nerd.
$98. I'm not about to drop that on a freaking record. I don't even own a record machine.
If I had $98, that's what I'd be buying.
Would you really?
Why not?
Because you could buy so much stuff with $98. I'd go blow that at McDonald's.
I guess.
Go buy 98 McChickens.
98 makes
Alright, moving on to the next topic. What do you want to talk about, Noah? Which one?
Something that happens here in Missouri.
Oh, Zombie Road?
Zombie Road.
Okay, I came across this the other day, and I was doing research about stuff. What's some freaky, unexplained stuff, and this one pops up, and it says Zombie Road, and it says Missouri, and I was like, whoa, that hits pretty close to home. And I guess it's this old road that people can like hike on now, and I think it's got bridges and stuff like that, and people claim that it's like haunted and stuff like that. People claim that they've seen Native Americans walking and stuff like that, like through the trail,
Oh man.
like fully dressed and like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh man, that's freaky. And they've claimed to hear footsteps right behind them, and people talking while they're being really quiet. And what it was for couples to get away and be alone.
Oh yeah.
And then they start hearing stuff, and they're like, "Yo, what's going on? Like, who's watching us and stuff like that." But
So
then
they're
they
probably just paranoid. You think?
no, I don't think they're paranoid. I believe 110%. People go there now that's because they know it's haunted. Just because they know it's haunted and they want to go like, yo, I want to know what's out there. And I mean, I'm sure those people are probably paranoid too. If that's the case, if they are paranoid, those people will be paranoid too.
Yeah.
But I guess they heard people whispering. Like when they would hear people whispering, they're like, okay, what's going on? Who's out there? And then they'd hear whispering some more, and then little girls laughing. And then, this is just like, they call it Zombie Road because not just Native Americans, but a lot of different ghosts are there too.
Yeah.
So maybe it's like a place of like everything that's like not living goes there. I don't know. I really don't.
Well, they say on this website that there are railroad lines that ran through there, and
Yeah.
some of the spirits may be caused because they were around a sharp bend where derailments could have happened. There was also some girl named Della McCullough or something like that. I don't know how you pronounce it. But she was attacked around, and killed,
Oh
murdered
wow.
around that on the railroad lines. And
Wow.
there's also one of a little boy that fell off one of the bluffs from around
Ooh.
there, and his body was never found. So
You know that's heavily haunted.
definitely.
And there's little kids that passed away around there. You know that's just where every creepy story happens. Every scary movie starts out with something like
I
that.
want to go down there. Bring a camera.
I want to go down there. That's gonna be on my bucket
Do a
list.
camping trip down there. We're just
Okay, camp
camp
is
on the
too
trail.
far. Camping is way too far. I would
No,
not go.
imagine that. It's like a ghost adventure sort of thing. You start filming.
No, then we'll start getting paranoid. A deer will be out there and we'll hear a little crack and we'll, what's that?
I don't know.
What's that?
Cool. It'd be cool.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure it'd be cool, but I'd be scared. And I wouldn't sleep at all. What would be the point of bringing a sleeping bag?
It'd be fun.
Maybe
Going
not.
on a ghost tour. You never been on a ghost tour?
No, I have not. Are they cool?
That's fun.
Do you ever think that they're like just rigged though? If they give ghost tours throughout the
I
whole
don't
day,
know. Yeah,
you know
maybe.
they're doing something.
Maybe, but maybe not. I believe in ghosts.
I do believe in ghosts. I just don't believe in ghost tours.
Yeah, one of these podcasts we're gonna have personal ghost experiences between all of our friends and family, whoever we know. We're gonna share their ghost stories, collect a bunch of ghost stories.
Oh, absolutely.
We're gonna tell them,
I'm wanting to bring Eli Buell in on this because he's got quite a
you
few.
got any people ghosts? Yeah,
I used-
ghost stories.
First time I was ever starting to hang out with Eli, we brought up the whole thing about ghost stories. This man was giving me chills. I mean, like,
Man.
he had so many of them. And I'm like, wow. Like, I'm glad none of that happened to me and happened to you.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I'd
It'd
do.
be cool to have a story, but I don't know.
We're going to have to bring him on one of these times and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we can do that. That'd be good.
Let's talk about something more recent happening in news.
Current events,
Current events for sure.
problems.
Amazon burning.
Yeah. It's kind of sad, honestly.
Oh, the Amazon, I think Ms. Morgan said something like, provides 25% of
25, something like that.
is
20
the water?
No, air.
Air.
Produces
25%
all
air.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Rainforest, yeah. 20% of all air to the entire Earth.
it's a quarter. It's a whole quarter.
Yeah.
That's a major chunk. And a lot of wildlife lives in the Amazon.
Yeah. Especially like,
They say it's human caused too. That's the sad
Yeah.
part. I can imagine if it was like lightning striking something.
yeah.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
definitely-
It's just not a good deal.
Yeah.
Not whatsoever.
Because there's, things that only exist in the Amazon.
Yeah.
Wildlife that only exists, plants that only exist in the Amazon that they can, just
Yeah.
flourish in this landscape, and it's getting all burnt up just because of humans. And it's
They're saying an ice age is supposed to happen around our decade, like in our timeline. I don't believe in that crap.
an ice age?
I mean, I can imagine one happening, but I can't imagine one happening this soon.
No.
In the next, 30 years.
Well, if it was planned to happen, it's not going to
I
happen.
think it was like
anymore.
35, 40 years.
It's not going to happen anymore.
Why is
Not
that?
with- Not with the temperature rising as it is.
Oh, I know. But they say it's supposed to cap out eventually and just boom.
I don't know.
I hope it doesn't. You never know, though. It's just really sad about this Amazon thing, though. I really hope it just has a downpour there to where you just... That'd be actually amazing.
And it's just like all these companies that, they put their things out on social media saying, "Oh, pray for Amazon, pray for the Amazon, and help
For
them."
us, yeah.
But
help
they're
them out.
not doing anything to help. Like
No.
Disney, I saw this meme where it's like Disney spending $10 million to buy the Spider-Man franchise, and then it was like a picture of a guy being all happy, and then the next one was Disney spending $10 million to put towards the Amazon fires, and it was like some guy crying his eyes out. It's like the businesses, the big companies like that,
Yeah.
have money to spend. They could spend this money easily. They wouldn't, they wouldn't
Yeah.
lose any sleep over spending $10 million because Disney's a huge company, but they don't do anything to help, or the countries themselves. Like they all recognize the problem, but they don't do anything to help it. They're just like, it doesn't matter. It's not our
Oh,
country.
yeah.
Who cares?
Yeah. That's an actual world problem.
Yeah.
Now, I
The
am
entire
sad.
world should be able.
Now, I am truly sad that Spider-Man is not in the franchise.
Franchise.
But I mean, this is a big world problem.
That's just like
you need to open your eyes a little bit
Yeah.
wider and see the actual problem.
That's just like Notre Dame too. Like whenever Notre Dame happened, all these billionaires were stepping up saying, "Oh, I'll donate money. I'll donate money." But whenever the Amazon fire happened, all the billionaires are just like, "Oh yeah," putting their respect down on social media and saying all this stuff. Pray for Amazon, but they're not giving it.
We're gonna let nature do what nature does.
Yeah, even though we're the ones that caused it, it's crazy.
We need to put a stop to it if we started it.
Yeah, we started it, and it's massive destruction.
I don't know. Okay, well, I'm sorry about my voice this week. It sounds pretty trash right now.
It'll be better by next week.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about doing an ASMR type style just for
Oh
me.
man, that'll come later.
Oh yeah.
Be prepared for that.
Nobody can be more prepared.
All right, guys. Thanks for listening to this week's podcast. We hope to have our podcast website up on the Legion School
Page.
website
Yeah.
sometime soon.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll be back next week.